Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I'm Dr. Nuriza and let's learn about the stages in the counselling process. There are 5 stages for counselling to establish basic ground rule in what you do and how you operate the counselling session. Stage 1 is relationship building, the initial disclosure. The first step involves building a relationship and focus on engaging client to explore issues that directly affect them. The first interview is important because the client is reading the verbal and non-verbal message and make inference about the counsellor and the counselling session. In counselling, the counsellor establishes rapport with the client based on trust, respect and mutual purpose. When there is a good rapport, a positive psychological climate is created and vice versa. For forming the rapport and gaining the client trust, counsellor should assure confidentiality and discuss limit of the confidentiality. Allow ventilation, allow the expression of feeling, explore the problem by asking client to tell their story, clarify client expectation of counselling, describe what the counsellor can offer and their method of working, and give statement about counsellor commitment to work with the client. Okay, the second stage is in-depth exploration about the problem assessment. This step involves the collection of clarification of information about client's life situation and reason for seeking counselling. Assessment refer to anything counsellor do to gather information and draw conclusion about the concern of client. Assessment takes place at the beginning of the counselling process, but sometimes degree of assessment take place throughout the counselling process with purpose to find missing pieces of the puzzle. The counsellor needs such knowledge about the client so that nothing is left out, which may affect the counselling and therapeutic process. Why we have to assess client? You should remember that you are assessing your client not for the purpose of judging or evaluating them. The purpose of assessment is to seek clarification you want to know about your client. The counsellor do assessment to enable counsellor to make an accurate diagnosis, determine person suitability for particular treatment plan, enable counsellor to develop a treatment plan, make goal setting easier and achievement of goal measurable, enable assessment of environment or context. And another thing is facilitate generation of option and alternative. What to assess? These are the example information that counsellor should assess during the counselling session. Counsellor should assess the demographic data, personal problem, the current presented problem, family history, the career, relationship with the parents or friends, current lifestyle, the goals, the values, the readiness, the motivation to do some changes, and etc. Okay, the next stage is goal setting and commitment to action. Setting goals is very important to the success of counselling. It involves making a commitment to set of condition to a course of action or an outcome. Goals are the result of outcome that client want to achieve at the end of the counselling. Goals help the counsellor and client determine what can and what cannot be accomplished throughout the counselling. In goal setting, the client identifies with the help of counsellor the specific way in which they want to resolve the issue and what course of action should be taken to resolve the problem. Focus of the client is problem. Focus of the counsellor is problem, client, and counselling process and client's goal. With clear goal, clients are more likely or motivated to work toward achievement those goals. Learn how to structure their life toward achieving the goal, and it is easier for the counsellor to select and evaluate appropriate counselling intervention. Stage 4 is counselling intervention. There are different points of view concerning what a good counsellor should do with client depending on the theoretical positions that the counsellor subscribes to. For example, the person-centered approach suggests that the counsellor get involved rather than intervene by emphasizing the relationship. The behavioral approach attempts to initiate activities that help client after their behavior. After completion of the counselling intervention, client open plan, client managing coping with the daily function, existing support system and support being assessed, and identification of strategy for maintenance of change. Stage 5 is evaluation, termination or referral. Terminating the counselling process will have to be conducted with sensitivity with client knowing that it will have to end. Note that each of these stages continues even though the counsellor and the client move to the next step. For example, after building relationship, the counsellor moves to the stage 2, which involves assessing the problem encountered by the client. In the meantime, the counsellor continues to strengthen the relationship that has been built. In other words, stage 1 of the building of relationship does not stop but is ongoing until stage 5, which involves termination or perhaps the client is referred to for further action. In this stage, the closure discussed and planned, appointment interval is lengthened, available resources and referred identified and assessed. Assurance is provided to client of the option to return to counselling if necessary.